Good morning, everyone, and we are on our bar guide. And my next tip for you would be this one: you have to decide firmly. Before I tell you which areas of the bar examinations or the bar preparations should you be deciding firmly, you have to know how is it done. And based on my personal experience, you have to weigh things out. Like, I'm using actually the rational choice theory in making this decision. And you have to know the disadvantages and the advantages. And you have to include in the advantage your own preference. I have to include and emphasize this because your preference would save you some time, and you don't have to waste your time and resources. And it's taxing, especially if you're going to relearn something which is not of your habit. So your habit actually is like time and tested that have worked. Like, it proves that it has worked for you. This method of studying, this venue of studying, the foods that you prefer, like if you have some like preferred food during your study time, then if that worked for you for the 4 years, then why change now? So you have to include the pros and focus that the habits or your own methods and the things that you're used to are actually, unless there's a flaw in that. But I tell you, since you already graduated from law school and you're now preparing for the bar examinations, I do not doubt your methods, that it worked for you. Now, once you know the advantages and disadvantages, then you have to make a decision. Of course, as a rational being, you have to choose something that is advantageous to you. Like, it worked for you, it would cost a lesser money, then why not? So once you made the decision, you have to stick to that decision. There's no way that you should falter or you should change your mind, because the more you change your minds, the more it shows your lack of confidence. Now, as the second part of the lesson, I want you to reflect and make a decision based on these four areas. And I think these are major ones, because actually the first thing that I did after making the assessment of myself, I had to decide whether I'm going to enroll in a review center or not, which I did not. And I just continued my legal researcher job, and I just stayed in our house. Now, after making the decision whether you're going to a review center or not, and whether your answer is a yes, then you have to also decide which venue, whether in Manila or in Cebu, or whichever is nearer to you, or you want somewhere, like you want to be far from your family, or you want to focus because you're thinking that being away from the responsibilities and the persons, like your family, would work for you. Then you have to decide. And the next would be, what would be your review materials? Actually, I had a list. I have my own list of my own review materials that I had to use. And one thing for sure is that I use the codals, like the all the provisions of the law. I had to read it. And again, number four is very important. Whether you're going to detach yourself from the family, and based on my personal experience, I was alone in our house during the bar review period. And now, since I this is just very quick, you have to decide on these four things. And these are not just like trivial matters. Actually, it reflects, or it affects your preparation for the bar examinations. And these areas must be decided accordingly and decisively. Like, you have to be firm on your decision. If you made a decision to not to review, or to not to enroll in a review center, then make your game plan out of that. If you have this set of materials for your bar review just to make a good recall, then why not? So now, in this bar guide, all you have to do is to make the decision. And once you make the decision, you stick to it, because your decision is a sign of your self confidence. And halfway to that would be sticking to your own choice. And to stick to your own choice is to mean not entertaining any doubt, but to have confidence in the choice that you made. Hope that you will do the same and you will apply what you just learned. Thank you very much, and You take care given the pandemic, and since the 2021 bar examinees, you really had a long period of preparation. So make a firm decision now, and it's not going to be tomorrow but now. Thank you. Thank you.